up, and he's only going to continue to get better. So very happy with what he did for us in that game.
Nico, do you recall your reaction when you first heard Russell Wilson was no longer going to be in the NFC West?
I mean, just everybody, just probably similar to everyone's reaction. It was just, shocking. You see a guy who's been with the team for so long and has had so much success there in Seattle. So it's a little weird, like seeing him Monday night, seeing him in a different jersey. It is a little weird, but I think everybody had that same kind of reaction. So nothing different there for me as well.
Was any part of you happy?
I wouldn't say happy. It happens all the time. For me, been in the league for a long time, so guys change team, guys move to different places. So for me, it's whoever we play really doesn't matter. Russell leaves the NFC West, and we still have to play against him. So it's really not that big a deal for us.
The way Geno opened up Monday night's game by completing almost every one of his first half passes, was that a good wake up call for your guys going, look, we got to be on point with this guy now that he's taken over?
Yeah, and that's just with everybody we play. I mean, Geno was successful. Yeah, I think they set it up for him where he can make some quick reads. He gets the ball out on time. Does a good job of going through his progressions. He's a veteran quarterback who's done it for a while. So we have high respect for Geno and what he can do with that offense and the way they play the game the right way. They run the ball well. They play good defense, good special teams, and they surround Geno with good players. So we have to do our part on Sunday. We have to finish. That's one thing we didn't do this past Sunday. We didn't finish, right? We had opportunities to close that game out, and defensively we didn't get the job done. So for us, the thing coming in is how much better can we play? How can we help support our team and put us in position to win the game?
How did you think Javon Kinlaw did the other day?
Yeah, I think Kinlaw did really well. I mean, to start the game off, to get pressure on the quarterback, to force an in-air throw. Kinlaw he played with great pad level. I think he's doing a really good job inside, and he played well for us. And Kinlaw is another guy who will continue to get better as he continues to play. So I'm happy with where he is. He did a good job for us on Sunday.
How noticeable is the difference? He obviously was dealing with that knee thing for so long, but not having it and kind of being healthy. Could you notice a big difference?
Definitely, you notice a huge difference in just how he's moving around. Just his demeanor. He's in a really great space, and he's playing well for us, and he's moving around well. He's not worried about injury. Anytime you can get some stuff off your plate mentally, you're not worried about injuries. You're not worried about rehabbing. Now you have time to focus on really getting better as a player, and that's where Kinlaw is. His focus is in the right place, and you see his game improving each week.
Did they start dealing? It seemed like he got more one-on-ones early. He was pretty effective. And did you know? It seemed like they started double teaming him more.
Say it again, Miss. Being an interior guy, sometimes the way they slide to you, right? The way they're sliding the line. Sometimes he's just in that position where he's gonna be double based on the protection that the offense is giving us. But again, he's doing what we ask him to do, and he's really affecting the game. He's helping us. He's being disruptive inside, and he's being the player that we thought he could be. So
frustrating are the defensive penalties, considering they were an issue last year, and defense is just so elite when it's not making those mistakes.
Yeah, you don't want penalties. That's it. You got to play smarter, right? The thing about those penalties are they're self-inflicted, right? Self-inflicted penalties will kill you. So we have to do a better job of just playing smarter, continue with the same relentless effort, the mindset, but we just have to play smarter on a few of those penalties where you guys saw, they went down and scored on us on the 3 times we stopped them on third down, and we allowed drives to continue to go on. Guys in this league are too good. You can't continue to give good players opportunities to make plays. So once we have guys down, we have to finish it.
You're a guy who went through training camp where you were doing 2-a-days during camp and playing in all the preseason games. Do you think that maybe guys not playing in all the preseason games, I know it's part of the agreement, but do you think that affects their chemistry right off in week 1?
I think every guy is different. I think some guys can really handle not playing in preseason, but I think for the most part, a lot of guys do need preseason to just, get that first hit out of the way. Maybe it's a lot of guys that first time going on the ground and their first action. So a lot of guys, I think younger guys, they do need that time. They need to see just a few reps in preseason just to knock out some cobwebs. Or guys who've played for a while, guys who are veterans, have done it at a high level, those guys can get by with it just because they got a ton more reps of these than younger guys, so they can get by with, missing a preseason. But I think it's something to, getting a few reps. And every guy is different. I don't think it's a team by team, but every guy, each individual is different when it comes to preseason. Some guys need it, some guys don't. Some guys just hit the ground rolling like they didn't miss a beat. Some guys, they come out and they're a little rusty. They're not tackling as crisp. They're not quite on it right where they should be communicating and things like that. But, it's always up to that individual.
From a coach's perspective, after a loss like that, is it easier to get your players' attention and drive a point home? Not that you don't have their attention, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think as a coach when we had the game there's not any room to get any attention. Guys already know. They know that, we were in position to finish and win the game. So guys know that and they know what they have to do before. As a coach, I step in and say anything. The guys, they already know the mistakes that were made. They already know the corrections. They're just disappointed, right? We're all disappointed because we feel like we can play much better than we played. And guys know that, and you don't have to harp on it for too long because we're dealing with professionals here and they understand what we're here to do.
Both got that third down sack, and then he wasn't involved in many plays, obvious plays. Were they neutralized him? There weren't that many pass rush opportunities, but from your perspective, how did he play after that?
Yeah, Bosa did a great job. He did a really good job, rushing the pass. There weren't many pass attempts, right? And the field was a sloppy conditions, so a lot of run game that we saw. So that kind of, depending on which side they're running to, it kind of, takes him out of the game. But he did a good job, good effort. He was attacking the ball. He was playing the right style. Like, he did a really good job for us. But it was just, really tough conditions for everyone out there. So when you are in those conditions, it's just hard to get the proper footing to go rush the passer. Guys are not dropping back as much, so you won't have as many opportunities.
You had one rookie out there who played a lot of snaps, Womack. How did he do in his first real NFL game?
I thought Womack, he did some good things in his first game, and he also has a ways to go. He has to continue to play better for us. I thought he was okay in his first game, but he's been grinding him, working him to continue to up his level of play, and he's gonna do a good job for us.
Was he, I don't want to say at fault, but what happened on the Dante Pettis touchdown?
It was just a breakdown in coverage. I think you're playing when you play a quarterback like Justin Fields, a quarterback who's going to scramble and move around in the pocket. We all knew that. But one thing you can't do is if the quarterback hasn't crossed the line of scrimmage, we can't have everyone running down to get the quarterback if he's not past the line of scrimmage. So it's just one of those plays that, he got out of the pocket, guys got antsy in coverage, and guys just undisciplined from a standpoint of trying to go get the quarterback too quickly, right? And he found one, and it was a great play by him to be able to, throw that ball back across field and make a play like that. It was a good play by Justin Fields.
You always expect your guys to play well and keep it clean in every game, but do you kind of attribute it just to being week one as part of kind of getting back into it?
I don't. I don't. I think, we've had a lot of reps of training camp. We've had preseason games, so I don't attribute it to it being week one. I think week one you should come out and the focus has always been on your fundamentals and technique. That's the things you have to rely on in week one. And we did that for the most part. Our guys, they played their butts off for the most part. They played outstanding. We just had a few breakdowns with the penalties that we can clean up, and we just got to go get the ball more. I think it was great for Huff getting the one interception, but my challenge to our guys is can we get more? Can we get more? Can we get more? So if we continue to play like we played on Sunday, play smarter, and continue to attack the ball, like everyone's going to be happy with the results on Sunday. All right. Thank you. Hey.
film, how did you feel your younger guys did on the line?
Well, it's always hard after you lose because when you lose, everything's tainted by you lost. So you're like there's a lot of things that could have been done better. But overall, the guys, I think it was a solid first outing. That's the best way to say it. If we'd have done a little bit better, maybe we could have won the game. But the guys really, they worked well together. They performed well together in spurts and gave us a chance to have some success. We didn't quite get it done, but I was, not disappointed by any stretch. I mean, they played okay.
What about your rookie, Burford? I mean, it didn't look like he gave up any pressures or sacks. I mean, that would seem to be a really strong first outing for him.
Yeah, I think you're right. He did. He went out there, competed, and did a nice job. Really happy with the way he played. And, like I said, it was okay. There's a lot of little things to clean up for him. But overall, from a production standpoint, you're correct. It was a good outing for him.
Was your
Mike McGlinchey did some coaching during the offseason, like last year before, just about getting his mental state correct after he had, a bad play. Did you see progress from him after the one sack he gave up that he played more consistently?
100%. Yeah, Mike's really worked hard at that. I mean, he's known that's a problem, that he's just got to bounce back from a bad play. Everybody's going to have a bad play. How you bounce back from it, how you progress through the rest of the game, I think that was real positive for him. He had a negative play early, and we talked about it on the sideline, and he corrected it and was able to hit a real similar play. It came up like in the fourth quarter, I think, an identical protection call. And he said it much differently, approached it much differently, and corrected it, which is all you're asking for. Everybody's going to have ups and downs in the game, but it's being able to battle through them, and he did a nice job.
You see the play of that sack that he gave up, and right after the sack, he just makes a beeline for the sideline. Is he going to talk to you at that point?
Mike, about that. That may have to do with the previous question. How is he going to deal with the, having the bad play? What's next? And so, we eventually talk. I usually give the guys when they come to the sideline, the last thing they need is a screaming lunatic when they get to the sideline, which I try not to be. So when they get over there, I try to just, let them get a drink of water, sit down. We'll process what exactly happened during the series, and we can come back to it and correct what happened.
But are you saying that that's sort of his process now, is to sort of get off the field and eliminate it from his mind as quickly as possible?
Follow with him on that. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing to calm that. My thing is the end result. I'm just looking to see, hey, Mike, you seem a little up, worked up, whatever it is, and I think you could ask him. That'd be a good question to see what his process is. If it is to just, hey, I got to get out of here, I got to get to the bench, got to sit down, got to calm myself and be ready for the next series.
the offense rushed for 176 yards, I believe. Were you pleased with the running game, and what was your assessment?
Well, like everything else, we lost the game, so it always just comes. It's kind of just like, it's. You'd like to take some pride, guys would, in the fact that they ran the ball well, but the guys worked really, really hard. We left a lot of yards on the field. The guys, we just were. There were some things that were really, really good. There were some things that were off, and hence that's why we came up short. So while we're, that. Numbers-wise, it seems like a good number. It's all tainted by the fact we just didn't get it done at the end of the day.
You like how the rookie runners have responded this week to possibly, having an expanded role?
Well, they're working hard out there the last couple of days, watching them run. They've been really training, working hard to get it and to pick everything up and to do things the right way. And like we've talked about with my guys, we've had a lot of conversations about the process of getting ready to play and then actually playing in the game and what happens when you play. So with them, there'll always be a little bit of there's always going to be a learning curve with every young player. But boy, they've worked really hard this week and they look good.
Can you tell that Lance has an impact on the run game just from being on the field? Can you see that, like just the threat of him?
Oh, definitely, because just how the defensive ends have to play in the last game, for example, when you're in certain pistol formations, shotgun formations, the defense has to make a decision how they're going to play, and that's different than they have to play when you're always under center. You don't have the threat of a running quarterback. So it does. Now, it's not a huge deal because they have a call, and our defense has as well as to who's got the quarterback, blah, blah, blah. But it is different than just lining up every snap and doing the same thing over. Now, all of a sudden, you have this other call, and then all the complements that can come with it, play action passes, and those things can cause a little more. It adds a layer for them to have to work on is really the best way to say it. And everybody's got an answer for it. Everybody's seen it enough now. But you can tell the effects, and it lets other plays occur because the threat of the running quarterback, you play off of how they're going to play your running quarterback when that time comes.
Did you see that on the Debo score? that end, seemed to take a step inside, and that maybe allowed Debo to get outside.
Well, that defense has a tendency to usually the way they play their gaps is to close most things. But with that play, there's a lot of different ways teams defend it, and so that's part of the read of the play. If they that's what's the beauty of it. If they do one thing, you do the other. If they do the other thing, you do that other. It's that cat and mouse game, but you have an answer ready available within the play. Not so much, oh, well, we ran this play, they're doing that, let's come back with the next play and do the other thing. Within the play of a zone read concept, you actually have the option within it to read and see what they're doing. Oh, they're doing this, let's do this within the play. And that's kind of the beauty of it. When the end does close on that play, excuse me, it gives you a chance to send Debo around the corner. Pretty cool.
You turn on the tape of the Seahawks, is it strange not to see their classic 8-man box and not to see the cover 3 thing that they've been doing?
For me, I just see really, really big guys. When you look at 97, 90, and 99, I just see big guys in the middle, and I see good edge setters that can rush the passer. And whether the 8th guy's down there or not, those big guys in there are still a pain in the rear, man. They are good players. They're really hard to block. They do a good job of defending and defeating blocks. Whoever they've been coaching them really well up there for a long time. And even though the scheme has changed slightly, those big suckers are still in there, man, and they do a heck of a job. And it's always a challenge. When I turn on the film, I keep wishing that they'd be gone somewhere else, but they just take up the whole space on the film. And my guys, we got to get out there. Guys got to get out there and compete and do a good job against them. They're an impressive group, and they're always a challenge.
That's good.
Hey, next week, hopefully you guys get someone exciting. Thanks. See you guys.